Alright, welcome back. It is July 20th. We're looking at the 150 hula hoop patch today. That's all we're going to look at. Trying to get you caught up on that. I know we haven't looked at it in a while. Hot, humid, not so wet though. A lot of storms been hammering Virginia for the last couple of weeks, and we really haven't gotten that much here. Most of the storms come through here, skies get black, lots of lightning and thunder, and they follow this ridge here, or they follow that ridge over there, and they just bypass us and keep on going. We got a quarter of an inch of rain yesterday, and prior to that we hadn't had any rain since July 6th. So we're about 3/4 of an inch of rain so far in July, and that's okay. I mean, I'm watering, so let's take a look at this plant. There she is, the 150 square foot hula hoop patch, 100% filled in, 100% terminated. Now, I put a picture on Facebook the other day, and it kind of looked like this right here was part of this plant coming out of the border, but it wasn't. That's my bushel gourd, and it's kind of doing its own thing. We'll look at it here in a moment. Alright, so you hadn't looked at this patch. It's been a while. I think last time we looked at it, I had two plants, one there going that way and one here going this way. And now it's just one plant. It's been one plant for a while. And it's a little bit different than what I intended on. I intended on this plant here running all the way around. I did about 10 inches or so from the border. And I was going to run it all the way around, set fruit over in there. Cold temperatures to start off the season really held it back and didn't get the growth that I was looking for. So I had to do something a little different, not what I wanted to do. So the main comes through here and it makes a turn right here and goes back that way to the border, and then it turns again and comes back up through here, and this is the main right here. So it starts there, comes around, makes a turn, goes up there, makes another turn, and comes right up through here. The first two secondaries back there, I pinned back on that way, and they both go that way, and one is right here beside this. This is the secondary right here. Matches the main vine. It comes from all the way back there, all the way around the border to right here. And then terminated all the secondaries on this side of the plant. I actually left a few here while I was setting fruit because I didn't really know what was going to happen, what we were going to do here. And you know, they all got out of the borders. I had lots of vine out of the borders, but I got it all back in the borders now. And I was going to run those around this way, but I decided this isn't even where I wanted the fruit, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I ended up terminating them right here because they're just going to be too difficult to get in and out and take care of this. So all the secondaries on the inside of the vine, I kind of turned them a little bit and ran them close to the main, and like that through there. I do have some secondaries off the main that makes a turn there, and I ran them all that way. There's a couple that come up through here. They're really small, just doing a little bit of work. So no watermelons. I told you last time we looked at this I was going to move on for watermelons, and I did exactly that. And not that they weren't doing spectacular, you know. I mean, they were filling in this spot right here. I didn't have any fruit set, and it's, you know, it's almost the end of July, so it was time to move on from that venture. And I got lots of weed growth that I've been trying to work on in here. This is kind of my Virginia State Fair patch. You know, I had 2 marrows in here, and I got 2 tomatoes here, and I got bushel gourd, and I had watermelons. So I wasn't going to keep all the watermelons. I was just going to keep the strongest one and give it about 150 square foot. But none of that's really worked out. I got some drainage issues in here. I lost one of my marrows. So I'm in here doing some work, and I noticed this marrow that was right here was 96.5 Williams, and it was flagging really bad, and nothing else in the patch was flagging. And I knew that was a bad sign. Got to looking at it. The vine was 100% separated from the crown, about 2 feet to the main vine, to about 2 feet up the main vine. None of the rest of the vine was rooted in, wasn't really doing much, so I got rid of that plant. The one that Big Midland gave me up there, the 200 plus unknown UK plant, so it kind of did a funky little thing. I thought this was the secondary coming through here, but it turns out I think it double vined on me, a double main vine. I'm actually going to turn that. I'm going to get all this cleaned out. I'm going to turn that and try and run it back up this way. So there is no crown on this portion plant right here. Lost the main vine. I don't know if you're supposed to bury these or not. It seems like the vines are awful small and weak to deal with that. And again, I'm having drainage issues in this patch. I've never grown over here before. This type of stuff. So I didn't really know what to expect. If I'm going to grow over here next year, I'm going to have to definitely do something different. But anyway, the main vine rotting about 2 feet from the crown. So all this is nice and rooted in, and it's doing okay without a crown. I haven't had a single female that's opened on this plant. I do have a female on the very tip of it, and then go up there and get some weeds cleared out. If she doesn't open, then that plant's going away. I got a couple females on this portion of the plant, just came in today. So I'm going to turn it up through here and keep an eye on that. But if we don't get any murrows, we don't get any murrows. I'll just go to the fair with a giant pumpkin and maybe a giant field pumpkin. And maybe a bushel gourd. This thing's not doing nothing either. Matter of fact, decided to ribbon vine on me. It didn't start this out the gate. It just started it, you know, right around in here probably. And I mean, look at that. That's some nice ribbon. So I don't know if I'll even continue to venture with this or not. And it needs some weed help too. Alright, so tomatoes, the 655 Rotoball and the 9.5 Clayton. I've gotten one mega bloom on the 655 and it rotted out at the bottom. I don't know what the deal with it is, humidity or bugs. I don't know which got it first, but bugs were eating it away from the inside at the bottom. I tossed it down the creek. Haven't got a single mega bloom on it after that, and I haven't got the first mega bloom at all on the 9.5 Clayton. Yeah, I don't know. We'll just keep watching for them, I guess. Alright, so I talked about I had drainage issues over here in this patch, and as a result of what my problems have been up here, already started unburying all this vine here. Anything that I buried, and I didn't even bury all of it. Anything that I buried, I'm already unburying, and I don't want to rot any of this vine away. It looks really healthy right now. It's doing really good, and I'm very pleased so far. Alright, so am I going to prove the circle this year? I don't think I will. You know, I need to do some things different next year, probably a different location, probably put it over there with some big pumpkins and heating cables, and start it off in a grow hut and all that nice stuff. And I think I'll be more successful. And you know, I really want to run that vine all the way around, get as much main vine in here as possible. So let's look at the fruit. She's 25 days old today. This is Judith, named because the band A Perfect Circle, which we have here, and they have a song named Judith, and now this is my fruit, Judith. She turns 25 days old today, estimating at 180 pounds. I'm going to move the Stay Puft marshmallow. So, I mean, I'm pleased so far. I don't have any complaints. I got a little bit of a kink right here, and this, I actually did this when I picked it up, and I'm kind of, I need this thing to get up off the ground. I put 2 sheets of foam up underneath of it, and I wish I'd put 3 or 4. I need that thing higher off the ground. You see how the stem is coming straight down to the ground. So I got a little bit of a kink there, and that's going to cost her some weight, but there's not really anything I can do with it because I can't. I need to get the fruit higher, and pulling on it right now is not going to help me. So main vine comes through here and goes back. It's underneath my blanket there and goes back. Yeah, it goes back that way and kind of turns back towards there. So I had a open pollination that was sitting back here on the secondary, and I was keeping an eye on it, not doing anything with it because I don't really like this location at all. But ultimately, as I said, I think I can make this work. It's definitely not ideal, but I think I can make it work. And as the fruit grows, I'll get some of this stress off of this vine. It makes a pretty significant turn right there. And it wasn't like that. The fruit was all the way over here, really close to the border. There's no way I could have kept it in the border. So I picked it up, and my wife came out here to help me with it. I picked it up and put it more inside the patch so that I have some grow room. That's probably going to be limited in growth due to just the setup's not ideal. But I cut the blossom off today. Yeah, wasn't liking the way it was looking. It was looking pretty nasty. So I'll let this get dried up with the fan on it for about 24 hours, 48 hours maybe, and I keep a close eye on it and then paint it with some Daconil. I don't know if I saved it. I don't see it laying here. So this is the first blossom that I've cut off this year. So all in all, I'm pleased with the fruit. It's doing 16 pounds a day. I don't know what to expect out of it in 150 square foot. Like the one I grew last year, we never watered or nothing after Mason had his medical issue that we had to deal with, and I never set foot in a 150 square foot patch again until the end of the season. I was like, hey, it's still here. So we went to Spring Hope, North Carolina, weighed it at 499.5 pounds. I feel like this will get bigger than that. I will get a personal best 150 square foot plant, but again, I don't think I'm going to get what I intended on getting out of this circle, just because of the slow start we had. Although it filled in really nicely. I got lots of root in there. Right, I'm all caught up on the 150 square foot hula hoop grow. You guys are all caught up on it now too. Next time we talk, we'll go over the main patch. I got some issues going on over there. We'll take a look at next time. And I'm also hitting some personal best marks at 25, 30, 35 days. So that's a plus. All right, thanks a lot for watching, and we will see you next time.